starting to get that gut. Starting to be a little bit of a jerk to my kids, from time to time, and something had to change.
Yeah.
So, on that note.
Well, and I also think, I love this idea of the goal, first of all, many of us forget that we really should deeply be setting goals. Because if not, you're working, but what are you working toward? And what is that? How are you benchmarking? If you're not working towards something, how do you know if what you're doing is getting you there? So this is an opportunity. My word today is opportunity for sure, because many of us in the last couple of years in our real estate business, we've been scrambling, right? It's been a sprint. It's been crazy. Everybody wanted to buy a house. Where did all the freaking money come from? Awesome, but everybody's buying a house all of a sudden. Well, you guys probably didn't get your KV Core set up really well. You probably haven't done a lot of event planning. You haven't, there are a million little items on your to-do list that you didn't get done because you were running around. Now's the time. People always call us and they say, I don't have anything in escrow. I don't have any business. I'm so freaked out. I'm going to have to get another job. Okay. Well, if you have to get another job to feed your children, to put gas in your car, to pay your mortgage, whatever, do it. But also, do the other stuff. I always say to them, so what are you doing? Well, I don't know. I volunteered to do an open house for someone. Okay, that's good. But what are some other action items you can be doing? So I know you're sitting here thinking about this, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be drinking so much. Also, shifts, yes, KV Core, not set up very well. So, and a million other things, how many of you guys are thinking of all the stuff that you haven't done that you could be doing right now? So I guess my challenge to you is to set some goals, to start thinking about what you're doing every day, and are they in service, true service, to move you toward that goal? Is that goal meaningful? Are you setting the right goals? Talk to the people around you that know you. What do they say you need to be doing? Where are you wasting time? There are a million things you could be doing right now. You had a really powerful story, Brian, about hitting rock bottom and coming back up. So what do you tell people right now when they're afraid they're not at rock bottom? Because we don't want you to get there. No reason to get there. Amen. But what can they do? When you were inspired at that little moment, it should be easy to come out of this right now, right?
It was an adjustment. So, let me answer your question a little further. And my answer didn't come right away. I was committed. I was in. I was doing it. I was going to do what it takes. Whatever it took. And I wasn't going to do it well. Let's be honest. I was just going to do it. Sometimes just showing up is half the life. Okay? My father passed away this year. He's the one who always said, half the life is showing up. The other half is what you do when you show up. So, after going through rehab so many times, I learned how to teach rehab. Because it was a 3-week rotation. So I was literally teaching it to people. And I couldn't believe how many people were inspired by the stuff I was just regurgitating over and over and over. Can any of you teach something to somebody in real estate right now? Absolutely. That you need yourself. So what I ended up doing, I was with RE/MAX for 14 years. I became a manager in the office. I can do this. I need some extra money. I need some extra money. I want to stay in the industry. I don't want to leave. This is what I want to do. So I started to teach it. And not well. Okay? Not particularly well. Everybody had their different ideas of what it was, and everybody had inflated egos. They talked like they sold 100 houses a year or even a month, and it's like, I just looked you up on the MLS and looked up on the company records. You did 2 deals last year? What? So what I learned to do is I learned how to teach certain material to people, the same material that I needed the most. One of the things that I teach the most in the EXP world, in EXP University, is listening presentation. Why? Because that's what I needed the most. Am I just super charming and I'm just walking in the room and, no, I'm not. I'm awkward. I'm weird. Okay? I don't know how to handle myself. I hate even introducing myself. I was in the car business before I got into real estate. I couldn't even introduce myself. I was just that shy. So it sounds like, yeah, that's a great idea, Brian. Why don't you go talk in front of a big audience too? Yeah, why not? So what you need the most, a lot of times you need teaching it. Learn how to teach it, whatever it is, because then you have that skill set. And And when someone's like, oh, it just sucks, everything sucks. What are you going to say to them? Yeah, it does. If you're teaching them. Yeah, it sucks. That's all you got to do, just let it. So, no. What are you going to do? What are you going to tell these people? You know, they're looking for inspiration. They're looking for guidance. So that's what I did. I taught.
I have a question.
A little bit better later. Okay? And I learned certain things that I was better teaching it, but I enjoy doing more. It's the skills that I need the most. So I know when I'm going to a listing appointment, I know 8 criteria that need to be met before I walk in the door, or I don't have half a chance. Or I'm going to get myself in an awkward situation. What's your commission? Let's price my home. Well, nobody's going to sign all the paperwork, so why do I go into all this stuff here? Then I'm the bad guy, not telling them everything. Oh, you know, license law says you have to disclose your commission right away. I don't even want to take this listing yet. So don't get yourself into back into a wall on conversations and whatnot. So that's why I wanted to learn how to teach it. Learn from so many different people, so many different trainings, over and over and over. I recommend everybody in here, if you have the opportunity, if you want to grow, if you don't want to be at the same mediocre level that some other people are at, you really want to go higher, you don't have to be extreme, you don't have to go millions doing this. Teach somebody else this. It could be a mentor, it could be a coach, it could be whatever you want to do. Be a part of something too. Learn from others. So while I was coaching other people, I was also in coaching to learn whatever I could learn. My passion kind of came back to that process. It wasn't a, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I really wasn't doing the Tony Robbins thing. Yeah, let's do it. I'm in. I wasn't that guy. So I hope that resonates with a few of you in here.
I mean, wow, what a powerful story, right? And the whole
Very powerful.
never give up though. I mean, that's what I'm hearing too, is you, I mean, rehab multiple times, but you said, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going, and I'm learning stuff so much that now I'm deep. You guys, that's huge. That's huge.
Well, I quit daily. Like
Well,
I
right,
quit
but you
daily.
never give up.
But if you keep putting yourself in the same situation in front of other people that need your help and your support, what are you going to say? Yeah, you should fail. Go ahead, fail. You can't say that. Well, I mean, you can, it wouldn't go over too well. Just kept going, and people would ask me, how do I do what I did? I was like, I wrote a book out of it. I wrote several books out of it just to, here, have the book. I don't want to explain it over and over. Here, read this. Yeah, here, read this. It was just my cop out a lot of times, but if I can help somebody off that, and I can't tell you how many books I've given away, just thousands and thousands. It's like, will you read this book? Please read it. Great. Well, you know, I just want you to read the book.
It's an amazing book too.
You know, if you can help somebody with this, you know, you're done reading it, give it to somebody else. I don't know. It's not a rocket science book that I wrote. Okay? It's not the ultimate guide to anything. It's just, this is what I use to survive. Some real simple things.
Has anybody ever had to pretend their life wasn't really their life?
Yeah.
So, when my kid was going through open heart surgery, I had to, my wife, it was important for us for her to breastfeed, so she would pump every 3 hours. And so my survival method was living my life in 3-hour blocks and just saying, okay, what do I need to get done in these 3 hours? Because I couldn't control everything that was going on. So I had to get as small as I could of what I could control. And then here's the other thing. Sometimes I had to pretend my life wasn't what it was because frankly, it was overwhelming. So there's times where I had to talk with surgeons and do all of that, and there's times where I had to go and negotiate. And I would literally tell my clients, hey, do me a favor, just be my real estate clients and don't waste my time, and not ask me about my son because I don't know if I can hold it together. How many of you think my clients actually respected that and they knew that how they could help me was by doing real estate? So transparency, right? That's one of our core values is I was transparent. I was vulnerable with them. And then I go another 3 hours and say, okay, what do I need now? One time I went to the bar, I ate chicken wings, had a beer, and watched hockey, and just tried to pretend life was going to be okay. Do some things require time in order to work through them? Yes or no? Like
Sure.
we've all seen what just happened in Florida or in New Orleans a few years back. Unfortunately, they're not going to be put back to whole overnight. It's going to take some time. Fair or unfair? So when it's like that, what we've got to do is we've got to settle in and say, what's our survival plan? And sometimes that's the best that you can do is survive before you can thrive. Now, 13 years later, Charlie, whole other set of problems. He's figured out that he likes other people. He's a teenager. Who knows what those problems are? Yet, could I share one more thing?
Yeah, I'm not the boss.
Who's ever been taught Point Far by T. Harv Eker? Who's heard of Point Far? Dude, stand up real quick. No, Aaron. If you get a chance with his permission, will you feel his arms? Aaron, 2 years back, you weren't in the best place ever. Am I telling too much? No, keep going. It's not my story to tell. Aaron and I were running together, and we're both dads, doing the best that we can, and still probably fall a little bit short. Fair? Fair. What do we identify with you?
You identify with me?
Yep.
Other than my kids?
Well, what were you doing going to the garage?
Oh, you're talking about my alcohol problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So audio wasn't matching video. And that's something that I learned from you. I was telling myself every morning that I was this person. And then when I got home, I'd go hide my alcohol. And one day, man, the mirror wasn't who I thought it was. And I had to grow up.
Anybody else get chills? Because if you feel his arms, like, the man's completely changed. How's your business going?
That's quadrupled in the last 3 years.
Boom.
Yes.
You know, who you surround yourself with is going to help you hold the standards. I care about you. Just like my man Joel right here. He's a great family man. If I want to be a good father, who do I need to surround myself with? Andy? Good dads. And I expect these gentlemen right here, if I'm falling on a line, I expect them to kind of pull me back in line. Can I get an amen? Amen. How many of us need to set standards around and set the expectations that, hey, if I'm on a line here to step in and I need you, when I'm weak, I need you to be strong for me. Here's my standards. I respect my wife. I love my children. I want to be a good example. And how many of you know me and would step in if you saw me acting out of line? You get enough people like that around you, they'll be your rock when they need it. And I just want to publicly applaud you, man, because I've been watching your journey, and I'm really freaking proud of all your friends. I keep sitting down.
We have a question back there. Stand up. Thank you. Hey.
I'm Marty Brad. I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee. Sounds like all you guys have had some like major life, amazing journeys and turnaround. That's awesome. And sounds like everybody here too has been in the shipping market last time. I mean, now looking through it myself, sounds like you guys have, and I think we're ahead of the curve. That's happening. I love the way you guys were talking about some of the things that you did after we were already shifted, and you realized like, hey, I need to relook at my financials. I need to relook at my goal setting. But if you guys are like our group, the last 2 years has been a whirlwind, and so the goal setting maybe is falling by the wayside, or maybe the financial planning is falling by the wayside, or maybe somebody asked to do this or that, and budgeting's out of whack. So I love the way you guys were like saying, hey, focus on this, we look at stuff we all know, but have not maybe been doing to the best of our ability. So I'd love to hear some more of your guys' strategies of things that we were doing, going after, like, seemed like the last shift, we figured out what was happening, and it was like we had to run back in retrospect. I think now we're probably early enough that we can put some of these things in play now going into that. So I'd love to hear some of the other things that you all did after that we can do now in preparation for each year that are coming out.
Sure. I'll throw something out that we've been doing with our organization, and that is, like I said, leaning back into some of the fundamentals, and that is kind of going old school on some stuff. So look back at your door knocking strategy, look back at your open house formatting, look at and start teaching that stuff. I think what Brian said is these are things that hopefully we've all done a million times, right? But sharpen up those skills a little bit.
do some of the things that you've always wanted to do but never really had time to figure out or get kind of scheduled or systematized. So go back, do a simple audit of your business organization. Say, what am I doing well? How can I streamline that, make it more efficient? What am I not doing well? So what's out there that I need to be working on? Strategizing, coming together as a team, talking to your people, talking to your colleagues. But I would say really do a fundamental, like, just survey of what you're doing, what all of your systems are, making them more efficient or refining them to have them function better, and start putting them into practice right now. So all that lead gen stuff, when you say, yeah, well, we lead gen 2 hours a day, are you really lead genning 2 hours a day? Or do you need to really put that knuckle down a little bit and actually lead gen for 2 hours a day? Do you need some new strategies? Yeah.
One that comes up is be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
I think one of my mentors said, awareness is transformational in and of itself. And I think just the fact that you're recognizing it puts you in a position where your subconscious is now going to start looking for the answer. So be truthful with yourself. I had to be truthful with myself that I was drinking too much. Once I was honest with myself, it's like, okay, now let's go fix it. So what I'm going to ask all of you to do is, are you being 100% honest with yourself on where you're at, whether it's financially, relationship-wise, relationship with your frontline or your past clients?
And it's not, it's obviously it's not easy because it's really personal, right? And we take that to heart because we put everything we have into what we do. But I would say, try to find a space, a mind space where you can kind of step outside and look at it from a very factual position. So this is a business. Real estate is a business. You guys chose a career that's a serious deal. Like, this is big what we do. And most of us are not trained to treat it like a business. So go in like you're a business auditor. Think, okay, what am I doing? What am I not doing? How much is this costing? Do I have duplicate systems? Are you paying too much for something because you already have a system that does that? But maybe it's KB Core, you just haven't set it up right yet. You are in a place at EXP, by the way, that gives you more resources, so that's your opportunity to be resourceful. To go in, Brian's teaching in the EXP role, Hank's coaching, we're all here for you. Millions of people are here for you. Google anything you want, right?
That's the only reason why
Set up
I'm here.
workplace.
My question.
Do me a favor, go to EXP Family Tree.
Question.
If you're not a
How do I
member,
catch them?
jump in there.
I have a
I
question.
can't speak for the two of them. How many of you want more mindset stuff, not only in here, but moving forward?
They only talking to people that
How
need
many of you would
sales,
be interested if there was
but I
a
need them to
monthly
talk
or
to
a
people that already have
bi-weekly or
sales.
a weekly thing on mindset from us? Would you guys be interested in that? Yes, Brent, we've got a legend back there. Will you hold
I have
the
a
accountable,
question.
make sure that happens? Everybody, Brent, come through. You're in? Ryan, you in?
I think one thing people really need to consider too is leverage. Like, what are you doing that is a waste of your free time? Like, would you pay someone $100 an hour or whatever your hourly rate is to come wash your car and do your laundry and go to the grocery store for you or make phone calls or whatever? I mean, 99% of the people in here will probably say no. And so, yes, when it's in the beginning, you don't have any money. I started my business 2 days before the country shut down. Yeah. Perfect timing, right? That's not what I first thought. Like, that was painful. It
question.
sucked. You know how to start a business with people when people are being weird about being with people?
I have a question. I've been raising my hand.
Right? And I plugged into our training, so this is
That's the only reason why I
I
came.
spent 6 to 8 hours a day for the first 6 weeks I was in business. We didn't even leave the house for a month, right? Like, what am I gonna do?
Jemima.
Oh, by the way, I also got a job offer during that time. 6-figure income, work from home, company car, all this fancy schmancy stuff. And I literally called my husband and I said, I just got this job offer today. He said, oh, maybe that's great. I could do different things. I told him no. I said, you what?
not right now, like maybe next week. I said, no, me doing that means I gave up on myself. And I have this flame within that would not quit. And so I'm going to be telling the story if everyone else thinks as it's reading, by the way. But,
Can you stand up? We can't hear you.
yeah, so it's all about your mindset and power. And when people are, it's so hard because when you surround yourself with people who are all talking about how hard everything is and how much everything sucks and, whatever. I mean, the same people I went to real estate school with, they hold down between like 3 and 7 transactions in 2 years and they did over 50. So.
Right, I was gonna say, so hold on a second. 2 days before the country shuts down, she gets licensed, she's all excited, she gets a better job offer, she says no, and Icon agent.
I have a question.
Question. Thank you for sharing that, that was amazing.
Okay, that's the only reason why I came today, just for this question. So my name is Jemima Chucks from Delaware. So the reason why I'm here is because I'm a new agent, started in 2020, and I joined EXP March 1st, and I kept the first month. In July, I became an Icon agent. But now I feel like I'm asking the question because you talked about goals. So I had set this huge goal of selling 100 homes, and right now we're about over 70 homes sold already this year. But I'm at that point of complete burnout. So when I saw mindset, so like I'm at that point, I need a reset. How can I reset myself into the selling machine again? Because I'm like, I'm out, I'm done, I cannot breathe. So how can I come back in to finish the year strong again?
So what a great question, really powerful, right? So how do you, when you're trucking along, and I don't care if you've got 2 deals or over 70, right? But you get burned out, it's tough. And there's no, I will say this, first off, there's no one answer. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could just be like, oh, that's an easy one. One answer. There's not one answer. So, I would say you probably are a little off balance. Obviously, that's a lot of work. And so, maybe set some goals that are outside of work, that are just for you.
Okay.
Remember, we tend to give everything out this way, and we forget to take care of ourselves. So when you're the battery charger, when you're the motor cruising that train down the tracks, what's revving your engine? What's getting you fired up, right? So I would say for me, and these guys are gonna go next, but I would say start setting some goals that are just for you, but also like with your business, protect it, put those blinders on, stay focused on that goal, and use it to benchmark, is what I'm doing right now in service of that goal?
Okay. Oh, wow.
That's mine.
Thank you. Very helpful. I needed that.
So I like the Jim Rohn quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Okay.
The average of 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, who are those 5 people in real estate? Are they doing what you want to be doing? So whenever I have these conversations of burnout, whatnot, they're hanging out with people within real estate. Oh, it sucks. They can maybe a deal here or there. They're not really systematized. They don't really run a business. So then you're picking up that vibe. So who do you want to surround yourself with? Find those people. Do whatever it takes. I do that in my life. I'm always searching for the average, top 5 people in my life. Okay, I was always searching. I told somebody early in the year, I said, you're going to be my top 5. And, he doesn't look even close.
And you tell them that?
I told him that. He's like, I said, you know,
That's bold.
But I've traveled this year quite a few times just to be around that.
Wow.
Okay? And then the attitudes that he has with other people and those relationships, and I've developed new relationships just by being with great people.
Okay.
So it's not just about, I'm going to crack out 100 deals, which my average would go over 100 deals, and I felt burnt out many, many times.
Oh, yeah.
It's who you talk to.
Right.
Okay? Like, I have this conversation with people on a daily basis. Okay, you're complaining about this, right?
Right.
Is that going to make you any more money?
Oh.
No?
Okay.
Is that going to help you in any way, shape, or form? Does it make you feel better? Then why are we talking about it? Let's talk about something we can do. not something we can complain about, because it just gets you in that negative, it gets into
Yes.
your body. So the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. And the other thing that I like to share is, this is an equation that works for me, okay? Expectations minus reality equals disappointment. If your expectations are out of whack with reality, you're gonna be disappointed because you have a remainder. Lower expectations, no, set the proper expectations, not only for your clients, but for yourself. And when you're still feeling low, you're surrounded by those people,
You'll be pumped
you're
up.
gonna pick up that. And the problems that they have, you're gonna have too, and maybe they're gonna solve those problems before you do, and you
Faster.
don't have to.
Wow.
Hey, call this person, then they'll take care of it. I spent 3 months figuring out these problems.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then all you have to do is you get a phone number now, because you're connected to those people.
Wow.
Find those people, latch onto them, get charged with stalking. I don't know.
No, don't do that.
It's so important. It's your life. It's your life.
Right.
Okay? And if you keep hanging out with people who are not where you want to be, where do you think they're going to pull you down? They feel good when you're when you're feeling bad. No, you want people to go, you're complaining again? Okay, let's talk about something else. Okay? See how that,
That's good. Very good.
hope that was helpful.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Who knows how passionate I am about this particular topic? I want to go.
Please go.
So subtraction leads to multiplication. So many of us want to do
Okay.
more. So I would challenge you and say, what's important about the 100 transactions? Is it doing 100 and it's about getting it to 100 and it's about that goal? Or is it a dollar amount? Or what is it that it's 100? Because the reality is 100 transactions has 100 closings. 100 closings has 100, like when you look at the math of it, sometimes the math doesn't work before you even get started. Now, I'm all about thinking big, but what we have to do is think big and then break it down to the minute category of math. And by doing 100 transactions, are we full of drama because the math doesn't work? Are you a single agent or do you have a team?
I'm a single agent.
So you got 2,000 hours on a 40-hour work week. Are you going to closings?
Yes, I'm closing 80%, 80 to 85%.
Okay, so let's look. 100 deals closed is 2 hours for a closing. So 100 times 2 is 200 hours. We're down to 1,800 hours. Are you going to inspections?
I don't go to inspections.
Okay, do you go to showings?
I do, and sometimes I have agents that go for me. Sometimes.
Perfect. So what I want you to do is look at your goal and does the math work? Because oftentimes if the math doesn't work, you still have a job to do to get it done. So what happens is you stop sleeping or you stop doing the other things that you need to do. So the first thing I want you to do is, does the math work? And the next thing is you get to raise your standards.
Oh.
Who knows me? What are some of the standards that I have if you run with me? Shout them out. Truth. Truth. What else? Know your numbers. Know your numbers. What else?
Wow.
Do the work. What else? Family. What does that mean, family? Don't message me after 5 o'clock. I'm a workaholic. But if you message me, that means I'm going to be there for you. I guarantee you, if I reach out to Brent Gove, he's going to respond to me. So am I going to reach out to Brent Gove after 5 o'clock knowing that he needs family time too? No. So what you do is, some people won't appreciate those standards and you weed them out, because here's what happens is, when you have high standards, people will be attracted to you.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So when you have more coming in than what you can handle, raise your standards so that you have less coming in. And when you raise your standards for people, you get better results.
Quality, yes.
Man, if you don't post every single day, do we have a coaching call the next week? How many days have you posted every single day?
850 plus.
What?
Matt, how many people do you have in your rev share?
152.
What?
So how many did you have before you started posting every single day?
48.
What was your recurring income before you posted every single day?
$300.
What is your recurring income today?
Free coaching and rep share, 28,000.
Freaking stud right there! Stud, you know why? He decided what he wanted, he raised his standards, he figured out his math, put it in the schedule, and then he followed the schedule. So the girl back here that was talking, is girl okay or is it lady? I don't know. I'm all getting anxious. If you have things you need to do, put it in your schedule and treat it like a listing appointment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah! Bring
Sounded just like it, those
I
In all honesty, I think 100 deals, your bigger problem is the math doesn't work and you're trying to do too much, and then what happens is you're not feeding into yourself, and when you fall apart and you don't put your oxygen mask on, everybody else around you. And this is what happens with real estate. We get really, really busy, then we stop doing what got us busy because we're on breakdown. Raise your standards, do the math. Here's the magic formula. 24 listings, 12 of which are buyers. You can do a great job. Your average sale price will raise by 10 to 20% a year. As it's raising, you've frozen your income. So now as your money's raising, you start paying your debt off. And if you don't have any debt, you don't owe anybody anything. How much stress do you have? Lisette, stand up real quick. What are you going to be doing next?
Next one. Oh, the open house, class.
Now, Lisette, where were you when you and I met? You just had a baby,
Yes.
and your back was a little bit against the wall.
Yeah.
How much money have you made in the last, what was it? Year. 6 figures.
Wow.
If you knew where she was, here's what she did. She made a decision. You went away, is what you told me. You went away, and what did you do?
I didn't work.
And you worked and worked and worked. And how's life right now?
Amazing.
How many of you want to hear from somebody in the trenches, going to work, doing the open houses, and going and making 6 figures?
By the way, back up is the man with open houses, so.
Wow. Thank
So
you.
I know that I kind of jumped in, that's why I was standing back, but I have this right here as a reminder because I'm someone who doesn't want to let anybody down. I'm someone who wants to just add and do more. I got this tattoo as a reminder. Subtraction
Okay.
leads to multiplication.
Wow.
Addition leads to subtraction.
Wow. That's
Let's say it one more
powerful.
time.
Subtraction.
How many of you worked with buyers and then all of a sudden you stopped working with as many buyers and you started moving towards listings because you could work with more listings and have a shorter outcome with less time? Same thing. Subtraction of buyers
It's
leads to
addition.
multiplication because you can handle
Multiplication.
more listings. Same thing with revenue share. If you're in this company and you aren't having one appointment a day, let's look at the math real quick. One appointment a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, 250 appointments. After 250 appointments, will you be better than when you started? Say yes. Some of us aren't all the hair and we're going to do it really, really fast. Be okay with being the tortoise if you tried being the hare. What, hare?
We got you.
You're slipped. On that note, take it over.
Oh my God.
So we have 3 minutes, what's my 2 minutes? 2 minutes. So, are you feeling any better?
I feel way better.
Or like some like a transaction. I have an assistant, but I'm a mom of 3.
What are you gonna go do?
Use the opportunity.